Alvin, what's up?
Crab pot. Sun shining.
Here we are.
12:15. Creeping up on Christmas. 10 days away.
10 days till Christmas. It's pretty insane. Um, it's December 15th. We're back with episode 15 on the 15th. Episode 15 of That Mortgage Show.
Is
Al.
it really episode 15? I completely lose track
Yes.
of what episode it is. I have no idea what episode it is ever. You could have told me it was 30.
You never.
I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have no clue.
30's a stretch. So should we just get right into it? You just want to get right into it? That's usually how it goes, how it's best.
Yeah. Let's just dive right in. Let's thank our
need for
sponsor. A message from our sponsor.
A message from our sponsor. This week, we have to thank my lovely wife, Erin, for hooking us up with our sponsor this week. Who's our sponsor this week, Alvin?
Sponsor this week's going to be Blockbuster Video. Not sure if you guys heard.
Yeah, so nice little family-run business. Blockbuster Video is nice enough to sponsor this week's episode. So at Blockbuster Video, bigger is better when it comes to new releases. Blockbuster stocks large quantities of new releases right in store for your convenience. Not just a few titles, but up to 45 of your favorite new releases. Blockbuster proudly stocks staff picks and cult classics. Open till midnight, 7 days a week. Stop into your local Blockbuster Video tonight.
Love it. I mean, when's the last time, right, that you went into the video store and you perused up and down the aisles on like a Friday night, right? You get to feel the plastic, you get to look at the cover, you take a look at the back of it, you read a little bit about it. That smell, you pop it open, that smell of a fresh DVD case. I mean, you can't have it lost on you. That's the beginning of a great weekend, right? You get to the counter, right? You wrangle yourself up a Surge energy drink and some Reese's Pieces. Maybe pop over to Domino's for a $5 hot and ready, or Little Caesars, right?
Yeah.
Come on, that's a night. That's a fantastic night. You're never gonna forget it. So.
And the Papa John's and Little Caesars plug, that's free. That's we have to say we're not paid advertisers of those two, but yeah, Al, you've hit it right on the head. Our friends down at Blockbuster provide a great experience. You walk in, and you can just feel that it's the weekend. Maybe you had a long week in school, and probably spent most of your time on your TI-83 playing Snake or whatever. But hey, you had a long week of school. You're getting off school and you're heading down to the Blockbuster, renting a few titles for the weekend. It's a blast.
Maybe grab yourself a little something for the N64, right? Pop on there, get some Mario Kart going with the boys until wee hours of the morning, 2 or 3 o'clock. There's nothing wrong with that. With that. That's a night well spent. That's memories made.
That's Blockbuster.
That's Blockbuster.
So yeah, thanks again to Blockbuster for sponsoring this week's episode. Hopefully we hit it out of the park for you.
It's coming back.
Don't forget to rewind your VHSs.
Good. Smart. All set out.
All right, Al. So what's our first segment that usually follows the sponsor? What is your rate? And, when I'm very excited, and I should be excited because finally it's positivity. But honestly, this week I was kind of like, ugh, I don't really want to talk about rates. But then the week unfolded, and it was pretty intense week. So we had a 2-day Fed committee meeting where members gave their thoughts and projections for future rates and current policy. There was a rate decision this week as well on the current Fed rate. What did they do? And then there was is that time of the month, CPI and CORE CPI was released. Those are the best indicators of inflation, as we talked about in the past. And those numbers came out slightly higher month over month. They did not tick down. They ticked up, but ever so slightly. And it wasn't enough of a move to raise any eyebrows or concerns about recent positivity of inflation slowing. So the Fed is still positive that they've got inflation in check. As for the Fed rate decision, they did not raise or lower their rate, so they kept it the same, which is great. It didn't go up, so that's positive. And this is the third time in a row that they didn't touch the rate, didn't raise the rate. So a lot of people are speculating that those rate raises are done. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. If you follow these Fed meetings or you follow our show, you may hear us talk about dot plots. This is a measurement tool that they use where they every Fed member kind of gives their speculation as to where the rates are going to be in the next couple of years, and they formulate a dot plot, and it just gives them an idea of what these members are thinking, and it measures all the way out to 2025. So they're not unanimous on how quickly they want to cut rates, but every member is speculating that they will start cutting rates in 2024. The projection for 2024, for the end of 2024, is rates between 4.5 and 4.75. I should say that's the Fed fund rate, 4.5 to 4.75. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what mortgage rates are going to be, but that's what they're aiming for, and they're aiming for roughly 3.6 by the end of 2025. None of this is set in stone, so take it with a grain of salt. They change. They change all the time. What they're thinking, what their policy is, it depends on what's going on in the economy. But all that being said, all that nonsense, so to speak, Al, what are the real? How does that translate tangibly to what we're seeing in mortgage rates?
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's happening. It might not be, it's happening. I mean, I'm excited. And it's not just because of the booby cup, right? I got a lot to be excited about. We all do. This is fantastic times. We've been waiting for. We've been stocking up on cheese for this moment. They're coming down, baby, right? The T-bill. What was it, 4.2, 4.3 last week? Now we're at 3.9. Get out of town. We were pushing
It's
5
crazy.
a month ago. We were pushing 5. We had these nerd sacks out there talking about rates in the teens, right? Me and Crab didn't believe in that. We thought, probably 8, maybe 9, maybe 9. But we were pretty confident. Some nerd sack on Instagram was like, I think they're going to get the 10%, 11%. And now he's like, I told you guys, they're coming back down. I knew it was going to happen. These people don't know anything. We know. We always know. We were confident. We had a good feeling. And now here we are. And things are happening. It's going to start picking up. T-bills coming down. Rates are coming down. Priced out an FHA the other day. And I was, 640 FICO, $400,000 loan amount. I mean, I was looking at about, I think I was getting right around 6, maybe a little 5.875 costing, 1 and some point and some change. I mean, that's great. That's fantastic.
You gotta remember that 640 credit score.
Right.
That's about as low as 640 is teetering along, not qualifying. I mean, 640, we can go down to 580, but 640 is really when
somebody with a 640 is still able to get down into the fives, high fives, but fives. I mean, it's a good sign, right? That's a good sign of things. That's for a government loan, right? But it's just it's a good sign. So things are trending in the right direction. As we see, the Treasury bill kind of does this thing as we talk about. That's what rates do, kind of down, up, down, up, down, up. But this is the trend. So yeah, it's good. A lot to be excited about. A lot of cheese to be eaten. Booby cup.
I love it. That's what's your rate. And to just kind of piggyback off of Al saying that folks don't know, we know. It's a little tongue in cheek. We definitely try to do our best to report what's going on and just kind of see, tell it how it may be or what but to Al's point, we're in the trenches. A lot of these folks out there, these economists or whoever is speculating, they're looking at charts and graphs, and they're not talking to lenders every day or pricing up interest rates every day. We are. Yeah. We are talking to our lenders. We're talking to underwriters. We're in the process. We're pricing up loans. We're looking at credit. We're looking at the whole spectrum daily. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to say like I'm some kind of expert Barry Habib at predicting where the rates are going to be, but we're in it every single day. Every single day. This is what we do for a living. So, I don't know. Maybe we'll get into some bold predictions and hot take. I forget what they were, but perhaps we'll get into some bold predictions. First, before we get into hot take, we've got to tackle what's quickly becoming maybe my favorite segment.
It's a good one. It's heating up.
Yep. And that segment is FAQs.
Frequently asked questions.
Facts and queries.
All of it.
So this week's facts and queries, I've got a question for you, Al.
Talk to me.
With rates dropping, with rates plummeting, a lot of people bought houses in the last 12, 18 months, 6 to 18 months, and they probably have a rate in the 7s, if not higher.
Yeah.
So my question is, if I bought a house and I have a 7 or 8, first and foremost, when can I refinance?
I mean, you can refinance whenever it makes sense for you. Right now, there's certain restrictions on for a VA loan, you have to be in the loan for 6 months, make 6 payments. Just to,
FHA is the same, yeah.
FHA is the same if you want to just lower your interest rate, right? But conventional, you can do it at any time. There's a lot of people out there that would say, well, you need to lower it by at least a point, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Well, they can go shit in their hat, to be completely honest. I apologize for the language. The point is,
Al's on one today.
Yeah. I was a little fired up. The thing is, it really depends on the person and the situation. Everybody has a reason that they're refinancing to lower their rate, and everybody's in a different financial situation. Obviously, when you do refinance, you get an opportunity to defer at least 1, potentially 2 mortgage payments, right? Doesn't happen every single time, but there's a possibility if you close at the right time, and that means a lot to somebody. Sometimes that could be the difference between somebody missing a mortgage payment, missing credit card payments. They're financially them really going into a tough spot, and then being able to kind of begin to crawl out of it, right? Or that extra $100 of savings a month or $80 in savings a month. And also there's going to be a big difference in that savings from somebody that's in a $600,000 loan to somebody that's in a $200,000 loan, right? So it might make sense for one person versus the other, right? Or have somebody spending habits. Some people, $80 is huge to them because they budget correctly and they know what they're doing, and they take their finances seriously and they track every single thing. And then there's people out there that don't, right? People out there that are like, $80, what am I going to do with that? The hell with $80. I don't need that extra $80. Well, chances are that's probably why you're not, in the $600,000 house, right? So, or with the $600,000 loan. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, it depends on the situation. You need to have a conversation with us, and we can let you know. And if it's not the time, so this is the biggest thing, right? We'll give you an idea of what the rate's going to be, the savings, the payment. And if you say to yourself, well, it just doesn't make sense right now, that's great. When does it make sense, right? Then you have that conversation of what do you want it to be? What do you want your payment to come down to? How much do you want to save monthly? And then you don't have to worry about that anymore. We worry about that for you. We track that for you, right? We have our list of previous clients or current folks that we're working with that it's like, give them a call when the rates get to this point, or the savings gets to this point, and we monitor it so you don't have to, right? So have that conversation, because if you listen to somebody else and they say, well, it doesn't make sense until it gets to a point, it's just, they have no idea what your financial situation is.
Right. That is completely arbitrary to say a point. It's just throwing a number out there. 3/4 of a point, a half a point, 1%. It moves the needle differently, just numbers wise, depending on the loan amount, and then it moves the needle budget wise, depending on the person's circumstances, and their income, and like you said, their spending habits. So, great answer. I'm 100% with you. It's nothing makes me more aggravated than when somebody is just like, oh, I'm not going to do it until it's 1%. Well, why? And then they can't. Nobody can ever answer why. No. They don't. So
they just say they read that it doesn't make sense, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. That's kind of lazy, but
right.
There's a ton of people out there that are wise. They are sharp, and they say, hey, I want to save X amount of dollars, or can you calculate what my savings are? Okay, how much is it? How much is the cost going to be? All right, I'm going to recoup that cost via savings in 10 months. sign me up. I'm going to recoup it in 20 months. Oh, I don't care about, I'm in a pinch. I don't care about how long it's going to take me to recoup.
Right.
I need to save money now.
Right.
So these are all different parts of the spectrum. So
Right.
yes, beautiful.
Couldn't agree more. Well said, Ed. Well said. Good stuff.
Well, you said it. You said it. I repeated it.
No, I mean, come on. I got it from you, right? Let's be honest. You're the brains behind this operation. I'm just a talking head out here. You couldn't find anybody else to be on your show, so you hired Uncle Al to say the things that you really wanted to say.
That's not true, Al. And I see here you are. That was off teleprompter. So get back on the teleprompter, okay? Somebody. This guy's going rogue. Hey, Burgundy, take it easy, Ron.
Back to the script. I'm back to the script.
Back to the script.
All right. What's our next segment? Where are we going from here?
Where we're going from here? We're going over the river and through the woods to hot takes.
Hot takes. So,
wait, before you get started, Al.
Mm-hmm.
Just, take it easy. All right. You've been leading up to this point. Now, this is the point in the show where we usually peak with our hotness. Mm-hmm. Now, you've been running hot all show.
Real hot.
So coming into hot takes hot. It kind of scares me.
Could be an explosion.
All right. Let's see how it goes.
So, and again, these are Abby's words that he typed that I'm saying for him. These are really Abby's opinions. So let's keep that in mind.
That's not true at all.
So I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. Let me come out and say, huge fan of tipping. Big tipper. Love to tip. Right now, when I go to a restaurant, right, I'm baselining. I'm at 20, right? 20% tip. Mm-hmm. Even that's for just doing your job. That's just for the average, right? Even if you're a little below average, you're still at 20%, right? Now, if you're knocking it out of the park, obviously that's going up, right? And then if you're terrible at your job, that's coming down. You're still going to get a tip. I mean, unless you completely, I don't know, if you punch me or my wife in the face while we're sitting there, you're probably not going to get a tip. Short of that, you're probably you're going to get something. Now, that's when I'm going to a restaurant, right? Or you're at a bar getting drinks. But I can't stand now. What is it every time you go anywhere? And, you go to a sandwich shop and you order a sandwich and they're like, well, the screen has a couple of questions for you. No, the screen doesn't have a couple of questions. You have a couple of questions. You want me to tip you for taking my order, right? Now, it used to be a tip jar, right? And it's like you pay with cash, and you get your change back and you drop in, a couple of nickels, a couple of dimes, whatever, a couple of pennies. I'm keeping the quarters most likely. Maybe I'll throw $1 in because you made me laugh, whatever.
Maybe
right?
it's got a sign on there. It's like send Sarah to Virginia Tech.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Something great like that, or they have 2 tip jars. Who do you like, this person, reverse that person? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, great. Throw it in this jar. But you're gonna, ordering a coffee and a breakfast sandwich, and you're gonna swing that screen around. You're gonna start me off at 20 or 22%, just to take my order. Really? No, absolutely not. And then, the thing is, they put you on the spot because it's so hard to say no. You got 3 options, and then down here it's like more options. You got to do some work to get to. I'm not tipping you for taking my order. So it's just so easy.
God forbid, you got to be like, hey, where's the button for no tip?
Right? You look at it, and then you got this person staring at you, and then they give the look back at the kitchen, and then who knows what's going on to your food, right?
Yeah, great. This is good hot take. Let's just talk about it for a second.
Put a bell on it?
No. Let's talk about it for a second. So, I'm with you, but you know what I really, really, really appreciate? There are some people out there. I've come across these unicorns, so to speak, the best among us, that will hit no tip for you. I've seen that happen.
I have too. Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. Love those people. And in that instance, I'm pulling out a 5, and I'm like, hey, buddy, this is for you. Thank you. I'll go above and beyond for you for going above and beyond for me, right? But just for like, we're gonna get you coffee. You want any cream? What kind of sandwich? Toasted. Okay, 22%. Like, give me a break here. No, you don't
Yeah,
get
where'd this
22.
extra 2% come from?
So what I'm saying is, even if you swing it around, right? Give me like dollar, $2, $3. You know what I mean? That's fantastic. I'll do that. I'll probably hit you with a dollar or no tip, dollar, $2, $3, right? Put that no tip right there just in case people want. If you give me the option, the thing that bothers me the most is that they hide the option for no tip. So you gotta give them something. So it's just you see it more and more. It's all over the place now because of everything's by card now for the most part, and everybody's got these new card systems. So yeah, and I know a lot of people out there feel the same way, but yeah, this is the world that we live in. Just give money for
Yeah,
nothing.
it is. You get money for nothing, and you're forced to tip some, you know, somebody who's half paying attention, doesn't give a crap about you or the job. I had this experience last night where I was at a counter paying for something, and the person had an AirPod in,
Yeah,
young kid, AirPod in. It's like, hey man,
no,
take it out, take it out. I want to smack you.
yeah. We're looking at their
Yeah.
phone, like keep looking at doing something on their phone, and then like put your
Ugh.
phone
All
down.
right.
You
All
know.
right.
And hold up, real
Yeah.
quick,
All
real
right.
quick. I've also heard the argument. I've heard people argue the opposite way of being like, well, you're also tipping the people that are cooking. You're tipping the chef that are back there, the people that are making your food. It's like, well, when I go to a restaurant, I'm not doing that. When I give my 20% to the waitress or the waiter, I'm not tipping for the guy that's cooking, and he's making a hell of a lot better meal than you are. Back there microwaving an egg and throwing some bacon on it. You know. But
All
I
right.
digress. I digress.
All right,
I'm
let's
running
let's let's
hot.
move on before Al turns into that fucking movie Falling Down. All right, and if you don't know that movie, check it out. Okay, so my hot take is something that we've talked about quite a bit. It's a repeat. It is. It might be redundant to people, but
Oldie but a goodie.
I gotta hit you. I gotta hit you with it. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's like Rolling. You go to see Rolling Stones, they better play Brown Sugar. You know.
Yeah.
You go to you don't go to see the new stuff. You go
No.
to see fucking Brown Sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, this is Brown Sugar.
Hit me with
Um,
it.
this spring, the housing market is going to be insane. Rates will be in the fives. Every house on the market is going to have 10 plus offers on it. People are going to be waiving inspections. If you don't, if you're going, it's going to get to the point where if you're not waiving inspections, it's not a competitive offer. Home values are going to be driven up. Mark my words. I don't like making predictions. Prediction this spring, rates in the fives, market's insane. People doing wild stuff to get houses. Cash buyers dominating, waiving waiving appraisal contingencies, paying cash to cover the difference between appraisal and loan. It's all coming back. It's already happening. Talk to a couple people in the industry. Talk to a real estate agent. 20 offers. It's already happening at rates in the sixes. When rates hit the fives, it's going to be complete mayhem. Get in the market now. If you're anywhere near buying, if you're going to buy when rates get better, if you're going to buy in the next year, do it now.
Yeah.
That's my hot take. We'll just
And you
end it
bet.
there because
Yeah.
we've talked
And
about it.
and that's fantastic, Ed. That's fantastic. Um, and the other thing is start having the conversations now. Even if you are going to wait until early spring to buy, have the conversation, have everything ready and get in early. Because if you start those conversations then, it's just going to get worse and worse. It's going to be 2021 all over again. Maybe even worse than 2021. So yeah, it's going to be nuts. Great hot take, yeah. Great hot take.
There's a lot of pent up demand, and it's not like a bunch of new houses are going to go on the market because rates go down.
No.
So there'll be more demand and inventory. Maybe will tick up, but I don't know. Either way, do something. If you're in the market to do something, do something.
Do
Don't
something.
wait.
Do something. It's good stuff.
All right, let's cruise along. That's hot takes. That was hot takes, Al.
That was hot. That was real hot. I like that hot take. Really like that hot take. That's good stuff. Where are we at?
We are at opinionated.
Oh, is this where we talk about how I beat you 53 times in FIFA during the years 2006, 2007? Wrong script. Wrong script. Wrong script.
Yeah.
um,
So
opinionated.
so that is a completely inflated number. 53 times is absurd. We probably didn't even play 53 times, and I
Wow.
definitely won a couple of them. And it was freshman year of college. You were a sophomore in college, so you had your bearings about you a bit. And I was probably a little, sleepy. I was a starry-eyed dreamer back then, and you took advantage of it in FIFA. But that's not here
You're
nor there.
definitely
We
starry-eyed after the
shouldn't bore
beatdowns I gave
people.
you. I'll tell you that much. Real
Shouldn't bore
starry-eyed after
people
the
with our
beatdowns.
shouldn't bore people with our FIFA matches. So what do you got for opinionated? Al took the reins on opinionated and did the work
I'm running point.
this week on that. So
I'm
let's tell
running
me what you
point.
got, Alan.
We're gonna get into Kevin McAllister's grocery list. Okay, seeing it is the holiday
Mm.
season, right? And everybody loves Home Alone. And if you don't love Home Alone, turn it off right now and get the hell out, right? I don't want you watching our show. Um, but Home Alone was in the 90s, 1990 to be exact, right? So we're going to go and we're going to talk about what he purchased at the grocery store, right? When he was holding those big plastic bags walking home when they all busted, right? What did he buy?
Yeah,
How much is it then? How much is it now? This is crazy. This is nuts, right?
love it.
So back then, Kevin McAllister spent $20. It cost him $20 for all of his groceries. Okay. And the groceries were half a gallon of milk, half a gallon of OJ.
Okay,
Am I getting chopped and screwed there?
a little bit.
Butternut.
Holy cow, dude!
What?
Take it from the top.
Can you hear me? Okay. So half a gallon of milk. So I started all over.
All right. No, just tell. I think you started getting choppy when you started talking about the price. So take us from the price and then
Okay.
down.
Kevin McAllister. So his grocery list, right? From the first Home Alone in the year 1990. And
Mhm.
back then, he spent $20 on all these groceries. It was a half a gallon of milk, half a gallon of OJ, uh, thing of bread, TV dinner, frozen mac and cheese, Tide detergent, saran wrap,
Mm.
Snuggie dryer sheets, toilet paper, and a bag of toy soldiers, right? And he spent $20 on that in 1990. If you were to buy
Mm-hmm.
that same list of things today, you would have spent in 2023 $54, $53.94, $54.
I think that $54 sounds conservative. I think it would probably I feel like it would be more than that. But either way, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody claimed that it was closer to 70. It could be closer to $70. I mean, that's a standard list of groceries, right? I mean, that not even. I mean, you're not getting eggs in there. You're not getting. There's no meats. I mean, you get into meats, you're going. It's gonna be through the roof. You know.
So yeah, and look, it was 1990 and we're in the year 2023, but that rate of cost going up is just bizarre. And I bet you that if you looked at the difference between 1990 and 2018 and today, I bet you a large percentage of that jump is from 2018 to today.
Oh, absolutely, 100%, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's recent. It's most of it is recent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it just gives you an idea. If you're like, God, I don't remember things being that bad. You know, they weren't. They're a hell of a lot worse now. Everything's so much more expensive
Yeah.
now.
And dude, the world is so competitive, and you got to work hard to make money. You got to work hard to get ahead. And there's nothing wrong with working hard. There's nothing wrong with trying to get ahead. But it is just getting more competitive, more expensive. It's I think it's a big trick. I think it's a big scam, man. I don't think we need. I don't want to be. I hope that I'm moving down a path where I don't have to depend on the grocery store.
Yeah.
I don't know how I get there or how that looks. There's a lot of people in the communities around where I am that are more. You got your uh, cattle farmer, you got your chicken guy, you got your vegetables, you got your this, you got your that in a zip code. I think the truth of the matter is we do not need these people. We need
No.
the people that are doing it on their own. We do not need the grocery stores. We could go on and on, and this is a tangent that isn't even has nothing to do with inflation, so I apologize. But
Yeah, but it's the truth, though. It's the truth. And if you're getting
y-
all that stuff
yeah,
yourself, or you know somebody that's growing it, chances are it's a hell of a lot healthier than what you're getting at the grocery store, which is something that we don't
right.
even talk about because we're so used to going to Giant, Safeway, Wise, Harris Teeter, whatever the hell it is, and get your groceries as opposed to getting them fresh at, I guess a farmer's market, right? Or if,
Yeah,
you have people that you know that you could get those things from, meat guy, vegetable guy, fruit guy, pickle guy,
so
guy.
enough with the pickle guy. So back to your point, and I think a lot of people like I know it's something that's been talked about on the internet, but it's also something that I noticed, not the total, but I noticed like the milk
Yeah.
when he was
Oh
shopping
yeah.
this year because we're all hypersensitive to it. I mean, because it's absolutely insane. And if I was at Sam's Club the other day and I got like 5 things and it was $150. Sam's Club, the portions are bigger, but still $150. And I looked up and I was like, this is insane.
Yeah.
And this lady in the other aisle was like, I know it's insane.
It's nuts.
Everybody's feeling it, and I, we got to
And the
figure
fact that
something
we're
out.
that we're trying to be sold that we're not feeling it is the maybe one
Mm.
of the more frustrating parts. That like it's not as bad as what people think. Or it's not as bad as it was last year, a couple months ago. Like, yeah, dude, it sucks. When's the last time you went out grocery shopping, right? And I remember hearing people like, "Have you seen the cost of milk these days?" Or "Have you seen how much eggs are?" And I was like, "Who the hell pays attention? You just go grab your stuff and you throw it in the cart and you get the hell out of there, right?" And I never paid attention to it. And this is like the first time this past like years, the first time that I've actually like paid attention to the price of these things, these everyday things, and it's astronomical how much they put up. You just can't. The normal family with wages pretty much going like this and everything else, the cost of everything going like this, like how do you say it's getting out of control.
It is. It is getting out of control. So if you're looking for a place to save, mortgage rates are down. If you bought in the last 6 to 18 months, there's a good chance that you could lower your interest rate and save some money.
Mhm.
So $80 a month might not sound like much to somebody, but that's a grocery bill. It's a trip to
Yeah,
the groceries. Hey, you want one free trip to the groceries a month? Maybe look at a refinance your mortgage if you pull it in the last 6 to 18 months.
right.
Um, and then shoot, Al, was it you? No, it was Sarah. She was talking to a client that she helped in January buy a
uh
house, and she's refinancing them now, saving them $290 a month.
Oh
So
wow,
that's almost a car payment.
that's big. That's big time. Yeah, I mean, and you're gonna tell me if you're walking down the street and you see a $290 bill laying on the ground, you're not gonna bend over and pick it up because you don't want to bend over? Come on, right?
Yeah. Hey, and we'll do a lot of that bending over for you. Hey, I know Al personally. I've known Al a long time. He's the type of guy that will bend over backwards and take it right on the chin for you.
Yeah.
He's not worried about,
I mean,
you know,
I don't like the
he's not
decision
worried.
there. I'd rather you say I'm
He's
the kind
not
of guy
worried
that
about.
keeps in a fight with a bear, you give him a
Look,
bear stick, right? Cut the heart out of him, he weighs 10 pounds, something like that. Now that he's gonna bend over backwards and then take it on the chin.
look, Al's the type of guy that is not afraid to get on all fours for you and really get down and dirty. He will do it. I've seen him do it. I know he's into it.
I think you're trying to paint me in a positive light, but it really doesn't come through that way.
Look, if your knees are weak and maybe you don't want to do any of the heavy lifting, Al will get on his knees for you. He's not afraid to get his knees scuffed up if he needs to.
In mortgage
You
terms.
know.
Obviously talking
Yeah.
about finances and mortgages.
Right. Of course. Of course. All right. So Al, I think that's kind of the show this week. You just want to just podcast a little bit and just go from show mode to podcast mode
That's fine.
and
What I think we should talk
huh?
about is Christmas movies, though. I think we should talk about Christmas movies.
Okay. So all right, you wanna do Christmas movies.
You don't want to do Christmas
That's
movies?
cool. Yeah, I'll do Christmas movies.
I
So
didn't put any thought into this, by the way. I put no thought. I completely forgot about it when we talked about it earlier in the week until just now.
same, same. I had no idea. I was ready to go full podcast where we just talked about aliens or something, but
We talk
um,
about aliens. Talk about aliens all you want.
nah. let's talk about Christmas movies. It's Christmas time. I got a wreath behind me.
Yeah.
'Tis the season. All right,
Look how
so
centered
Christmas
up.
movies.
Look at this. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Go ahead.
All right, so Christmas movies. What do you want to talk about? Christmas movies.
I don't know. It was your idea.
You want to rank your
Our
favorite
top, our
Christmas
top,
movies?
yeah, top three each.
All right,
What are the
so
Christmas movies that you have to watch every Christmas?
okay, well, I mean, I think it's probably the list is probably very similar for people, but I'm gonna try and do my best. I'll do my best to give you just to like I mean, all right. Trading Places is a must watch for me. Um,
I
Eddie
love that.
Murphy, yeah, it's a must watch every single year. It doesn't feel like Christmas if I don't watch it. It is an absolute have to watch. Um, it's a great movie. It's a movie of there's some mishaps. There's a little bit of comedy. It's a you got a guy that's down that life gets just flipped on its head, down in its dumps. It's a different look at the same archetypes of Christmas. You got
Yeah.
somebody who is living a life a certain way, gets that taken away from them, and it changes them for the better at the end. Really, when you break it down, it's a funny Eddie Murphy 1980s movie, but when you break it down, it's not too far off from all of the Christmas movies, I think, follow
Same
the
type of, yeah.
same type of storyline arc, whatever, as a movie that I'll save for my next pick. So my first pick is Trading Places. What's yours?
Mine's probably your second pick, right? It's Wonderful Life. It's got to be. If anybody doesn't love George Bailey running through the streets saying that he loves the savings and loan, then you're out of your mind, right? If you don't have tears in your eyes, and we watched it, and this is something me and Abby have watched. Oh, almost every year. I think we missed maybe 1 or 2 years since 2010, something like that, 2011.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and it's just, dude, every single time, it's like I watched it the first time. Tears streaming down. It's amazing. Makes you feel good. Makes you want to be a better person.
yeah. It's
You
such a
know,
good movie. I mean, I personally, I don't cry, but Al's got the tears streaming down for sure.
I'll get on my knees and I'll cry. Right? These things I'll do for you.
um, so yeah, definitely, It's a Wonderful Life is definitely on my list, and that's the best Christmas movie, hands
Yeah.
down. And it has a lot to do with like this guy's in banking, we're in banking, um,
Mm-hmm.
the Allied First Bank, our president loves former president loves that movie. Named a couple programs after Zuzu. So anyway, it's a great movie and it's a tradition for you and I, Al. So yeah, come on, dude, it's the best
It's the best.
movie.
It's the best. And it's up there as far as just movies overall, right?
That's
Um,
right. That's right.
um, I guess my second one's, or no, what's your second one? Oh, that is your second one.
Mm-mm. Wasn't my second one. Wasn't what I was thinking of. There is a movie that movie is also based off of, I believe. So, what's your second one? Go ahead.
No, it's your turn. I just went.
All right. So my second one is another must watch. You know what? I'll just, we already talked about it, but they're the best Christmas. Like they're just as good as any other Christmas movie. And it's Home Alone 1 and 2.
Yeah,
It's on
I
everybody's
agree.
list. It's a must watch.
That's two on my list too. And the thing is, like, I'm not watching 3, 4, and 5 because I'm not a psychopath, right? I'm not a hillbilly. 1 and 2 are some of the most timeless, best, quotable movies of any genre that you're ever going to see, right?
They've got to be the most watched movies of all time. Everybody watches them once a year. There's no other movie that everybody watches once a year.
Everybody watches those. Buzz's Girlfriend, Wolf, right? I
Hit it again.
have your pizza, sir. Leave it on the doorstep and get the hell out of here.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Right? I mean, come on, you got stuff that it's just it's the best ever.
Snakes.
Snakes. I don't know no snakes. Oh God, yeah, you can't beat it.
AC.
AC said you got some dough for me. How much do I owe you? AC said 10%. Yeah, I can quote probably the entire movie, top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
All
Um,
right, I got one more setup for you. Oh, it's scary out there.
Ain't much better in here, kid.
Oh man! And then for Marv getting electrocuted, like these guys get the shit beat out of them. They should have died like 100 times.
Yeah, it's all great. It's all the
It's
best.
great,
It's all the best.
and it's as good for me as it is for my 5-year-old. You know, it's as
Because
enjoyable for me as it is for them. It's great.
in his mind, all he's thinking is somebody breaks into the house, I got to tie some ropes to some paint cans and set them up, right?
So to segue into your next pick, that coming off of my pick, I'm gonna lean to you and say, beat that, you little trout sniffer.
Beat that little trout sniffer. Such a great line. Um, Man, well said, Ed. Well said. I think, man, see, this is when it gets tough. I mean, I have to go Christmas Vacation, right? It's a must watch every year. You can't.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
haven't watched it yet. It's good.
I haven't either, and I think that now it's so funny. So I mean, Christmas Vacation, extremely quotable. Can again recite the entire movie top to bottom. It's fantastic. Love it. Um, and but if it's so funny, like my wife's list is completely different. And now there's some honorable mentions that I'm leaving out. Of course, Scrooged, right? I have to watch Scrooge. I have to watch Elf. Um, Four Christmases, Fred Claus, right? There's a couple that really.
You're getting a little crazy here. For my honorable mentions, I would go to TV because I live for
Hallmark, you
maybe as
freaking
much,
weirdo.
not Hallmark, dude. I have to watch all the MASH Christmas episodes and Cheers Christmas. If you're not watching Cheers Christmas, you're doing yourself a
What
disservice. If
season's
you're
it
not
from? Because
watching,
I only got through like 3 or 4 seasons
I
of
think it's
stand
from like 6, episode 11. I don't know, but the honorable mentions are great, dude. There's so many good ones, and it's just the best.
There's so many good ones. I've never watched MASH.
But for my third and final pick, it is the movie upon which all Christmas movies are based. The through line message of A Christmas Carol. I would argue that every Christmas movie that you watch, to a certain extent, is based off of that storyline of like not appreciating your life or thinking you don't have it great and then being shown the other side and then appreciating
Yeah.
at the end appreciating what you have and appreciating your family, your love, your whatever. um it's the beginning. You got the main character who's, I'm living alone. I don't like my family, and
Mm-mm.
at the end, embraces the family.
I've never
It's
seen
no
it.
different. It's never different from Scrooge
Yeah, Scrooge. I've never
being
seen
a
it either.
miser.
Which one do you watch?
I like the one from like the 50s. I like that early one. Not the. There's one from like 1930 that's unwatchable. There's one from the 80s that is good. I like the one in like the 50s. That's it's really good. It's really good. And then I also like to watch Muppets Christmas Carol is good too.
I've never seen any
Uh,
Christmas Carol movie other than Scrooge. So I'll
the
have to give it a
Scrooge
watch.
is yeah, Scrooge is but aside from like Elf is different. There's a different story. Christmas Vacation is a different story. But a lot of the Christmas movies follow that pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So
Miracle on
good,
34th
so
Street,
good.
another good one, right?
Yeah, Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm. Christmas Story. Now, if you were going to ask Christine, her number one would be The Holiday. Has to watch The Holiday every year. Naturally, I have to watch The Holiday every single year, right? So, and then you have the folks that
Um,
are like,
White Christmas and that like the musicals and stuff.
yeah, and I'm not doing that. I can't do that. You know,
My mom watches them.
but there's just so many good ones. There's so many good ones. I mean, you could start right now and just go 10 through. And the thing is, 10 is built in. Everybody watches A Christmas Story on Christmas, right? Because it's on a loop on one of the channels. So you get 9 movies, set yourself up with 9 good movies to take you from here until Christmas. It's great. It's great. Put you in a great mood. Stay away from the malls and the shopping centers because that just brings out the worst in us.
Ah, I love the malls. I love the hustle and bustle. Man, I always pictured you as somebody you don't like hustle and bustle. I don't know you anymore.
I just don't like people are just the worst. People you just see the worst in people. I always find myself screaming, leaning out my car, screaming at somebody who is battling for a parking spot. I was here first. Fuck you.
You're the guy that needs to be shown Christmas past, present, and future so you can stop acting like that.
It's not me. I'm always in the right. Is the crazy thing. Like I'm waiting for a spot and some jerk off tries to, and then I'm like this, and you know what I mean. I'm Kramer and
George.
is it George?
It's George who's backing into the spot, and then I forget the other guy's name who's pulling it head first. You keep going head first. I park like that. All right, let's cut it off. 46 minutes. Great show, and yeah.
That's a good one. And we'll be back next week. What's next week? So I guess the only week we won't be doing is
Next week's the 22nd.
yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
The next couple weeks might get shaky. We'll try our best.
Hopefully rates keep coming down. Thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Later.
Later, Alvin.